What went through your mind when you learned that he was in custody?
Empty. I felt pretty empty. It wasn't what I anticipated it to be, Bob. It was a bit overwhelming, quite frankly, at least initially. And it caused me to really go back in time and try to understand the magnitude of what's just happened.
When you spoke to Abby and Libby's families, how did they respond?
They didn't really know what to say, and it was that feeling of, after all of these years, we heard what we wanted to hear. Now what? How are we supposed to feel? I think they were pleased because remember, we don't tell the family much more than the rest of the world knows. We can't. So they had the same questions that everyone else has.
There are lots of questions because the Carroll County prosecutor filed a request at the courthouse.
Why is information in this case, why is the probable cause affidavit not released right now?
Once the prosecutor made the decision to do that and the judge signed that document, it took it completely out of our hands. I believe in the probable cause. I've read it multiple times. I believe in that probable cause, and I believe in its outcome. So I think in some semblance of a short period of time, will be up to the judge, of course, up to the courts. They will release that probable cause affidavit. I understand the question, and that answer will come in due time.
Was there a request by Indiana State Police to keep it sealed?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Do you support keeping it sealed, or do you believe that it should be released?
I think it should be released, but I also think there's value in a period of time to keep it sealed. Again, in time, the strategy will be clear.
13 News asked the state police superintendent if he believes anyone else participated in the murders and if another arrest in the case might be coming.
Do you anticipate there could be other arrests in this case?
There always could be other arrests with any case. It depends on what we learn.
He did not directly answer either of those questions, and he also chose his words very carefully when I asked about this video on the Monon High Bridge. Police say Libby German secretly took the video on her cell phone on the day of the murders, and the video also captured a man's voice. Indiana State Police said this man was a person of interest, a prime suspect in the murders of Abby and Libby.
Is Richard Allen the man who was captured in that video?
That answer will be known sometime in the near future.
While Carter won't talk right now about the evidence, he is very confident that police have identified the killer. He has not spoken directly to Richard Allen since his arrest.
Did you find that person?
We did. We did.
How many individuals, how many investigators have participated in this case and in an attempt to lead to an arrest?
Hundreds over time.
Are you aware of any other cases that have had that many individuals participate from an investigative standpoint?
Bob, in a year and a half or so, I'll finish my 40th year. I've never seen anything like this in my entire career. I think one of the reasons is because it's captured the attention of the world, because it's Everytown USA. It's Everytown USA. It's your daughter and it's mine. It's her friend and it's my daughter's friend. I think that's one of the reasons that it's captured the attention of really the globe.
Carter said those cases are also very much on his mind, and he mentioned one in particular.
I want to talk about Flora.
He's talking about a deadly house fire in the town of Flora, just 10 miles from the murder scene in Delphi. The fire happened 6 years ago inside this house, trapping 4 young sisters who all died. Investigators say the fire was arson. The deaths are homicides. On the day of this press conference to announce an arrest in the Delphi murder case, Doug Carter says this is where he came first. Is it this crime scene, which is also still under investigation by Indiana State Police.
I sat across the street in that gravel lot and looked at that house that has the same exact remnants of a fire that we saw now almost 6 years ago this month. Boarded windows and black soot on the outside, and it just broke my heart that it was still there because I hadn't seen it in some time. The cases the investigations are very different, but the tragic outcome is the same when there's loss of life. And I hope that one day we can do the same thing, but we have to hear from people. And I hope that one day we...
State police said they have not gotten many tips on who set the fire that killed these girls. But tips continue to pour in on Delphi. Tens of investigation that Carter says is still ongoing after more than 5.5 years.
Did you think it would take this long to get an arrest?
That's a tough question to answer. This has ebbed and flowed for me. I was confident we would get an arrest, and I had hoped that it would be in a reasonable amount of time. But that reasonable amount of time grew to be longer than I thought.
Have you ever had doubts and worries that there would not be an arrest in this case?
I did, but I fought it. It's haunted me. Yes, I have. And then I'd pick up the phone and I'd call one of those detectives and say, hey, it's me, how you doing today? And I'd hang up that phone and I'd think, oh man, they don't feel that way. So I would be at peace again.
Are you at peace right now?
Yes. I see the culmination of extraordinary effort and hurt and pain in the community that will begin now, hopefully, to heal. But again, we're not done. We are not done. We're not going to leave that community until this is over.